Hey, you guys, you're listening to the Nostalgia Blend. I'm your host, Wandering Saunders. Right in front of me on this lovely evening is my guest.
How's it going, everybody? I'm your boy, Young Phil. I am the co-host, one half of the Distance Nerding podcast. Happy to be
So
here.
thank you for letting me interview you. So how's your day going?
It's going okay. I was just getting off of work, man. I had some overtime, unplanned overtime. It wasn't intentional, but it ended up happening.
Oh wow. So I heard. So I know yesterday you said you had a con. So what was the con about?
Yesterday we did Crocker Con. So here in Sacramento, there's the Crocker Art Museum, and every year they put on a showcase of local artists and comic creators, and we were able to host the panels at Crocker Con yesterday, and it was a load of fun. We had a really good time.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna have it on. I was gonna have us do this on Wednesday, but due to the fact that it was, of course, the anniversary of 9/11,
Mhm.
which still just catches me in my mind. I put it on my Facebook. What I remember, I was in high school when that happened.
So
My
was
la
I.
my last year, I was up and ready. I was getting ready for work. When I literally I think my mom had already gone to work, or she was sleeping because she had to be up early to get to work soon. Just after I left for school, I woke her up and my dad and I said, "Mom, Dad, like what's wrong?" I'm like, "The Twin Towers just been hit."
All
What do
right.
you mean? I'm like, yeah, I was watching the Weather Channel at the time, and so I walked to school. You can hear it was literally you can step inside. You can almost hear like a pin drop a little. That's just so I'm want to say this is that I still honor those men and women who went in to save people.
Yeah.
So, a quick second, we can silence allow that. Yeah, I know it's a day late, folks. But when you see this, please understand this is I had some stuff going on. Everything else was happening. Life is like full s- full speed ahead. Still
Yeah.
can't believe this month, September. Like we have what 2 weeks left almost of this month.
Yeah, and we're what's this whole year is flying, just going
Hmm.
fast.
So you know, what's something neat. So I'm going next month. I'm going to be you know Dave Finney, one who played who did the vocal of in Star Wars, the Clone Wars. He played
Yeah,
as the one of the Jedi generals.
yeah,
Well,
Hanoi, right?
I'm going to be interviewing him next month on the 3rd,
Nice.
and then the same day, same month, day before Halloween, I'm interviewing Dave Warren.
Oh wow.
So I'm going to be interviewing him. So we're going to be doing it the day before Halloween. So it'd be a special Halloween type one. Can all do is that program will be aired. I'm going to be airing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to go to be sent out at midnight on Halloween.
Nice. That's like perfect timing right there.
Yes. And then November, I will be interviewing Floyd Sumner, one who did, of course, the Garbage Pail Kids. I'm going to interview him in November.
Another great guy.
I'm also interviewing uh one of the guys from one of the owners of the Kyber 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 Crystal Co. Lifesavers.
Oh, Kyber Cave.
Uh-huh. I'm going to be
Is it,
interviewing him.
is it Van?
Yes. I will be
Yes.
interviewing Van
Hmm.
in November. I'm trying to get Steven because I've got a guitar here I'm gonna be sending him. So I've gotta finish getting a box. So I'm gonna contact him, see if I can interview him in December.
Nice.
I'm also going to try and interview, see if I can, if my friend, Alan Palmer is available, so I can interview him in December.
Some illustrious guests on this show, man.
Yes.
I'm in good company.
Hey, you know what? I'm one of those. So I went to the con. I decided I helped out again. I got to help Steven. What was neat is that it's an honor for me to be able to to sit with the live actors. I'm not much on sitting with the vocal voice actors because
Hmm.
for me, they don't have to use very much because they're just using their regular emotions. See, with the actors, it takes more than the emotion. It takes the strength to be able to actually get that character full full body, full everything. And what's neat for me, and this is sad, but for me, is that I get to meet 2 actors who got to meet James Earl Jones.
Oh yeah.
And that's another sad part for me is that I've always loved listening to James Earl Jones when he did when he did Darth Vader. One movie that always stood out to me that he started out was Roots.
Oh yeah. That's classic. It's powerful. It's something that brought to light a lot of things that people just kind of did not realize were to this day. There are a lot of people who don't realize kind of the extent and the how brutal that time was.
Yes.
And Roots did a really good job of bringing it to light in a way that wasn't sugarcoating it.
Mhm. And for me, like I said, for me, so when I talk to Dave, I'm gonna go ahead and ask him, how was it when you first met James Earl Jones? Because
Hmm.
if you follow him on Facebook, because I know I think you're friends with him on Facebook, and he posted, you probably saw the post of him with him and James Earl Jones.
Hmm.
I'm like, that is one of the greatest things to have, bo- 2 actors, both Star Wars.
Yeah.
To
Different parts of Star Wars, but I mean James
yes,
Earl Jones is so deep rooted into Star Wars.
yeah, and the other movies I remember him in was, of course, my childhood, Lion King.
Hmm.
Not the live action. Sorry. Well, that doesn't cut it. It's got to be the cartoon one. So yeah. So what was some of the cons you've done so far?
Uh, that's there's a laundry list, man. We officially do all of the stage performance, well, not performance, but like all of the interviews on stage
Hmm.
for Colossus Girl Cons. So every Colossus Girl show, you guys can catch us there doing the interviews. Now we also do other shows. Recently, we again yesterday we did Crocker Con. Last weekend we did Kaboom Con in Carson City.
Nice. Nice.
And yeah, we tend to I mean for the most part, most of the places that we go, we get invited to do
There
uh
you go.
panels and interviews for the cons.
Out of any of the cons that once you when you first started helping with, who are your favorite actors?
Oh, that's a hard one to call, man. It gets hard mainly because we tend to enjoy talking to creatives in general and just people who are in the creative space. So I mean, we range anywhere from actors to voice actors, which voice actors are just actors, but I mean like VO artists, actors, we do artists themselves. We talk with anything from like indie comic creators to like yesterday I talked to Derek Robertson, who is a comic book artist that He worked on Justice League and he's done Deadpool and Wolverine. He's
Oh,
the guy that
nice.
did all of the art for The Boys and for Happy and things like that. So, there's it ranges. Chris Marinon, who is most famous for Nova, right? He's had like one of the most prolific runs of writing and artistry for Nova. Um, and then you range down from that to indie comic creators and self-published books and things like that, and just we talk to a range of just uber talented people, so it gets really hard to like pin down who's my favorite because every conversation is different and every conversation is usually really good. We've yet to have a conversation with anybody that wasn't just a great conversation.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna jump into the past here.
Okay.
This you know the name, the nostalgia blend. So let's hear. You were born in the 80s. If
Yep.
I can. So what do you miss about the 80s? That drew you to enjoy what you enjoy now. What are some things that you grew up watching or grew up doing that you enjoyed so much that you actually get to do now more than anything?
um I miss action cartoons in the way that they were, So I mean, yeah, we got a little bit through the 90s. The 80s were chock full of it, right? So, we in the 80s we had your Transformers, G.I. Joe, all your Hasbro cartoons, but then we also had your Saturday morning specials and He-Man and
Oh
just
yes.
Voltron,
Hmm.
going into the 90s, I was a big Ronin Warriors fan. So I mean, like Ronin Warriors was a big deal for me. And then of course, like everybody, X-Men and Batman the animated series were a big deal. I specifically because on our show we have a segment called Growing Up Geeky.
Yeah.
Uh a very similar thing, right? It's very nostalgic, and the idea is, what is something that you nerded out on as a kid that brought you to who you are now? And in our very first episode, when we did our own thing, I specifically brought up 66 Batman.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam West and Burt Ward and that was the big thing. But I just Batman in general was what defined my childhood as far as like what I loved. My brother, I have an older brother. The 89 Batman, when 89 Batman came out, he went and watched that movie multiple times. He went and got himself a rubber cowl,
Hmm.
and he had that for a while. And then me, being the little brother, wanted to be like my older brother. And we're 7 years apart, so he's a little bit older than me.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I would put that cowl on and just run around, but my whole face fit inside of the mouth. Right. So I'm running around with that and I'm just like, I love Batman, 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 Batman.
I'm
Uh
Batman.
and exactly, I'm Batman. And then my parents introduced me to 66 Batman. And that just elevated everything because it was a different version of Batman, and I just loved all things Batman. And then I remember the animated series came out around the time that Batman Returns came out. So I was
Yeah.
already on this big Batman Returns kick, and then I find out, oh, they're coming out with the cartoon. So then I got hooked on the cartoon, and I just, that's kind of what got me into the comic world and the nerd world and everything like that. Because that's where I was like, I love all things Batman. Oh, they make books about Batman. Now I'm gonna start reading these comic books. Um, and I went. It's funny because I went from like the animated series was kind of dark, but like 66 Batman was my kind of like pinnacle. And you have this funny version of Batman. You have this very campy Batman. And I go from that to reading The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh yes.
And again, classic seminal book, but it was dark. It was messed up. The whole death scene with the Joker and everything like that. Like uh Two-Face burning a building down, like there's just so many scenes from the darkest version of Batman in 1987 just kind of got me into this, and that's what got me into the comic world. I remember in 94 uh my mom won me a contest, and the prize in the contest was in the first issue of Death of Superman.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
And
I remember. So this is what I remember growing up. Um, I remember watching that show, and I have the Batman Beyond
mhm,
movie where it tells the story behind one of the characters. So, and then of course when they started bringing out, excuse me, the Batman movies, the one where the Red Hood, when
yeah,
they started bringing out the different ones, I'm like, I remember watching the my mom got me to watch the West version. Then growing up, of course, the '89. I've got the 1989 movie on Blu-ray. I think I
nice.
have it on 4K now that they brought it out, and I have all the ones that were made from the '90s on DVD. I even have the Superman ones.
Yeah.
Uh, the one thing that caught me when they brought back the voice of Batman in the last season of Arrow.
Oh, Kevin Conroy, yeah, because
Yes.
he ended up playing the live action Bruce Wayne
Mm-hmm.
in the Crisis
Crisis, Crisis on Earth. Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earth.
And the thing that blew me away is when they showed the actor who played as Robin in in '66, and they
Oh,
made Earth '66, and they did that. I'm like, dude. But the thing is, that part is that if they would have had uh Bruce Wayne in '66, then that Batman. And if they brought him, it would have been a classic because they would have had those.
Well,
And what I thought was,
I
yeah,
think
go ahead.
I think Adam had passed at that point
Yeah,
when
he did
when
actually.
that, yeah,
He passed not too long before that
right.
one. What I thought was neat was was they used the 1989 area with that journalist in there.
Oh, Vicky Vale.
Uh-huh. Not Ricky Vale, the guy.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They used him. I thought it was neat how they brought all those into a closed thing, basically giving a nod to those years.
Right.
And for me, growing up, think I used to watch Power Rangers too.
Oh yeah, no, we just did Power Morphicon.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. We you're gonna be even more jealous. The interview that we specifically did was Red Rangers Across Time. So we interviewed every Red Ranger for the last 40 years.
Oh,
All on st-
yeah,
all
I'm
on-
definitely you guys minus Jason David Frank because he was
Oh
Turbo
yeah,
Ranger.
yeah, 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 yeah. Obviously minus JDF. But every minus JDF and Austin wasn't there either. Austin was at the con, but he wasn't on that panel.
Yeah. Oh man, lucky because I know two of my friends, Alan Palmer and Rajia, were not able to make it
Mm,
to the con. Due to the fact that Alan was getting ready because he's doing Rocky Horror Picture Show in Michigan.
nice. Classic.
Uh, and
Classic.
Rajia, I think she has immune something. I'm not gonna give it full out because people do listen,
Right.
but she had yeah, she's couldn't wasn't able to make it. So that's all I know. So
Well, I wonder if
trying to
he's
think here.
getting ready to do the time warp again.
Yes, I know, right? My mom, my to be honest, my mom's the one who got me into watching that.
It's a great movie, man. It's weird, but it's a great movie. I mean, but it's intentionally weird. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But one thing though, what I think is neat is how the the guy who plays the butler in it, one who
yeah,
wrote it, created it. Thought it was neat. Let's see here. Out of out of everything. if you could meet an actor that even though you know that what isn't doesn't do the cons, who would you want to meet?
Oh man. All right. So I've mentioned this on the show. I have 3 bucket list interviews.
Okay,
And I've said if I get these 3 interviews, I will retire from podcasting.
okay,
Probably won't happen. I'll continue podcasting because I enjoy it too much. But those 3 bucket list interviews. One I have one I've gotten. So one I've gotten the interview, and is on the show. The second one I've gotten to agree to come on the show, but there's a lot of scheduling issues. But just to name off who they are. Um, Number one is Mark Hamill.
oh yeah,
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 Mark Hamill is the and trust me, 2 of these guys are considered like kings among nerds, right? Mark Hamill is just a massive nerd. The dude knows everything and has been involved in some of the greatest franchises in history.
Star
Um,
Wars.
Star Wars, Batman. He does voiceover for so many cartoons, and so many people don't realize that he plays all these characters. Um, so Mark Hamill being one. Number two, Kevin Smith.
Ooh, I would love because he's the one who brought back He-Man.
Yes. Yes. Kevin Smith is the one that's agreed to come on the show. So I've
Dude,
already
dude,
talked.
I will definitely have to message you. I would love to have him send me a video of him saying hi to me.
Yeah. So he's agreed to come on the show. The issue is time, and he works on so many different things. It's hard to get him scheduled on my tiny little podcast. Um, and then the third one, the one that I've already done the interview with and is available on our feed, is Rob Paulson.
Who's that? Repeat that.
Rob Paulson.
Oh, dude, you gotta be kidding me.
So check this out. Check this out. You'll enjoy these.
Hello, nerds. Yakko Wonder here in the water tower. Do you know that the
Oh,
only podcast that Wacko, Dot, and I, and Dr. Scratch and Sniff listen to is the Distance Nerding Podcast? So listen. Good night, everybody.
Not done.
you
Watch.
you gotta hook me up with him to interview him. I grew up listening to the to the to the. You know, you had to send me the information. I cannot see
Oh,
if I
so
could.
Rob, I met at a con.
Oh,
So LA Comic Con is one of the biggest cons we do.
dude,
And we got him to do an interview at the con because we had essentially a studio set up in the press room. And
yeah.
he came up on his lunch break, and he did the interview with us, and it was amazing.
Oh man,
And then at the end, he goes, "You want me to do some tags for you?" I'm like, "Oh, yes." Right. So
he
you're gonna freak out. Watch. 'Cause I have 5 of them. So
okay. Let's go.
Hello, Pinky here, the really genius half of Pinky and the Brain. When Brain and I are planning to take over the world, the only podcast Brain allows me to listen to is the Distance Nerding Podcast. So listen, or Brain will bop you on the head. Nerf. Hi, is this thing on? Carl Weezer here. I don't know if this is working, but please do yourself a favor and listen to the Distance Nerding Podcast, and then go have yourself a croissant. But don't talk to Jimmy's mom.
you're really gonna like this one because the next character is on your shirt.
Hey, Raphael. Yeah, that's right. The original Raphael of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just saw Shredder the other day. And you know what he was listening to? The Distance Nerding Podcast. I was going to kick the hell out of him, but because he's got taste in podcasts, I let him slide this time. So do yourself a favor. Listen to the Distance Nerding Podcast. Have yourself a hot fudge marshmallow tuna fish and Doritos pizza and turtle power.
And
Oh wow.
the last one. So in the most recent version of Power Rangers, he played Donatello.
Hi, this is Donatello, the genius of the Ninja Turtles. When we're in the sewer and April and I are alone, kind of canoodling, We laugh our little turtle butts off at the Distance Nerding Podcast. Booyakasha!
Oh, nice. Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I was so excited because Rob Paulson is the coolest dude in the world, and it's like it's one thing when they say never meet your heroes because you're going to be disappointed. It was not. He over exceeded my expectations because we went to go talk to him. It was just basically like, okay, I'm normally not somebody who goes and buys autographs, but I need to go get one from Rob Paulson because the dude's my hero, right? And talk to him for like a minute, and he's just kind of like really listening and really gracious. And I tell him the whole story of like, I got into podcasting, and both him and Kevin Smith were like big inspirations for me, and getting into podcasting and everything like that. And he really listened, took it in, and he goes, "Well, man, do you want to do an interview for your podcast?" He offered me.
Nice.
He goes,
Nice.
"You want to do an interview for your podcast?" And I was like, yeah, yes, yes, I want to do an interview for my podcast." And he
Oh,
goes,
that's so awesome.
"Yeah,"
Yeah,
and he goes, "Well, I don't have time today. I really don't have time tomorrow, but I got a lunch break tomorrow. I mean, we can probably do it on my lunch break if you're okay with that." I'm like, "Dude, you're about to give me your time, like the only time that you have to yourself."
that's that is no that is one of the greatest thing about the actors. They're
Yeah,
willing to do that and stuff. And if they're willing to do that, that is like the top notch of an actor.
yeah,
That is like the those who humble who are humble
yeah,
to help out. And thank you for bringing back the Ninja Turtles memory. Oh, I grew up to that.
yeah. I know. So did I, man. We all
Man,
kind of freaked out when
what
he did
what
it.
recently got me to tears eyes too? The actor who voiced Shredder, not Shredder, but uh, but mm, Splinter's voice,
Yeah,
who
was Uncle.
passed away.
Yeah,
That's like, even though that's sad, but that memory of that full voice will always be part of childhood.
absolutely.
Because I remember when Ninja Turtles came out, the movies, the live
Yeah,
action, as added, but oh man, that was awesome.
and then the next year, I got an opportunity to meet Kevin Smith, and basically poured my heart out to the dude and made him cry because it was basically like, I was just telling him like, you're an inspiration, you mean a lot to me, both as a creator, as a podcaster, and everything like that. And he goes, "Oh, let's get a selfie, man."
Oh, cool. Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah, so Kevin Smith, again, another really cool dude. And then, it's funny because every time I tell them like my bucket list interviews, right? They all
Yep.
have nothing but good things to say about each other. So when I told Rob who my bucket list interviews were, he goes, I said Mark Hamill. He goes, "Yep, no, if you ask him, he'll do it." Kevin Smith, another good guy, great guy, and you. He goes, "Oh my God, thank you." Right? Kevin Smith, right? I said Rob Paulson. He goes, "Rob is like the most amazing person in existence." And I was like, "Yeah." So I've already gotten the interview with Rob. I was like, Mark Hamill. He goes, "I'll do an interview with you before Mark does it." And then I said you, and he goes, "Oh my God, thank you so much, man. It means a lot."
Oh, nice. Nice. So yeah, so okay, we're gonna speed this up. I got like three more questions and I think we're good.
No worries.
So so if you could tell your future self anything about the past or whatever you want to do, what would that be?
Uh, Follow your heart. Do things because you enjoy them, and follow your heart. Do what makes you happy. Prioritize happiness over anything else.
Okay. And okay, one more second here. Brain's like, okay. Uh out of out of every everything you've done,
Mhm.
what is one of the biggest things you want to keep doing? What is one of the biggest things you want to keep doing?
I enjoy generally entertaining, and it just I don't do it because I mean right now I don't get paid, but I mean like I don't do it because I get paid to do it. I don't do it because uh I feel like I'm gonna become famous or something like that. I do it because I enjoy entertaining people. I enjoy witnessing the joy of other people coming from something that I said, or I'm giving away a prize and somebody's happy because I gave them something. Like the amount of times we give away Kyber Cave lightsabers and people just break down and freak out, and it's like it's a good feeling to make other people happy.
Mm-hmm.
So um I will continue, like I continue to do things because I enjoy entertaining people, and I think I will just
Awesome.
continue to be an entertainer just because it is joyful to me to entertain.
Okay. And any future cons in the coming up for you guys?
Yeah, we got a couple coming up. So Anna Medford in Medford, Oregon. We're gonna be there next this coming weekend. In the first week of October, we've got LA Comic Con. So again, biggest con of the year for us. This is where we get a lot of like the bigger celebrities that come on the show and talk to a lot of like con goers and do some big press coverage. Like this is where we get our press credentials is at this show. And then in November in San Jose, California, we're going to be doing Fandom Con, and those
Okay.
are those are the major cons that we have left for the year. So
Nice. Nice. Uh, I would love to be able to interview all you guys in the near future. So if you can, just keep it open, keep us a line open so we can connect again.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're always welcome to reach out at any time. So
Thank you. Oh, and I see you got also the W in the back too. Back.
oh yeah, no, we're sponsored by Debbie, man. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah,
I've got
I have them. I actually have them. So I
yeah,
just ordered my cup and my yeah, I just ordered mine
I've got like an
last
entire
week.
wall of Debbie here, man. So
Nice. Nice. So do you have any questions for me real quick? We got like 6 more minutes, so
yeah, man. So I'm gonna ask you a question that we normally ask on our show, just to kind of reverse roles real quick here, right? Because it's like
okay.
something different. So let me pull up one of my interviews just because we have certain questions that we ask of all of our guests. So I feel like this would be fun to ask you here. So we have a segment on our show called Growing Up Geeky, like I mentioned earlier, right?
Yeah.
What did you geek out on as a kid?
I'll repeat that.
What did you geek out on as a kid?
Oh man. I geeked out on Disney. I geeked out
Oh,
on
cool.
Star Wars, Marvel, DC, video games. Heck, I just started geeking out again. So I have they finally put on the I don't know if you can see it, but they now have it on the Switch.
Yeah, yeah.
They have these Batman Arkham
Yes, I saw
games.
that they have the Arkham games on there now.
I beat the
Re-releasing the
first
Arkham,
one. I
they're
beat the first
re-releasing
one.
the Arkham games on all the consoles right now.
Yep. I beat the first one. I'm now on the second one, Arkham City.
Nice.
So the biggest one that I geeked out was when I got the Atari. That
2600?
it was called the Atari game.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. The Atari 2600?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And Teddy Ruxpin, I got.
Yeah. Every kid wanted that back in the 80s, man.
Dude, I had one. His mouth after years growing up, it broke.
Oh man.
I had the book still. I think I had the tape. I don't remember where they got put. So do you remember the Snuggles commercial?
Yeah.
So I have Snuggles.
Like you have the bear?
I have the bear.
It's awesome.
So my mom had given it to me when I was a child. So I've had him now. 1986 is when he came out.
Yeah.
So I got him the year my parents got married.
Nice.
So I still have him. He will be 40 years old in in another in 2 years.
Nice.
So yeah,
What
so
what what condition is he in? Is he in decent condition?
he's still got fur on him. He's just got
Nice.
bald spots. He's in good condition. As long as I'm not overdoing it, I keep him. He's To be honest, I usually don't say this, just my own podcast, but I still sleep with him.
Yeah.
Because
Wrong with that.
what?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So also my other biggest thing is growing up, I was a huge Power Ranger fan.
Yeah.
I geeked out very first time I met Alan Palmer and Rajaya, Alien Rangers.
Yeah, yeah.
So I flirted. So when I got then other year I got to meet Mindy Sterling.
Mindy Sterling is amazing. I love her.
She's a sweetheart.
She is.
I got to meet the actor who played as Buzz Lightyear, not Buzz Lightyear, but uh from the very old series where he's supposed to be going to space, the Twiki and stuff. I'm trying to remember. Uh, Starts with a B. Uh, good. Rain's doing a mile a minute. Uh, uh, he played yeah. I can't remember it now. That's weird. I can remember it, but it's um he was supposed to be from the past. He was a he was spaceman who traveled through time.
Spaceman who traveled in time.
Uh, Buck Rogers.
Oh, Buck Rogers. Okay,
I
okay.
had to be the actor who played Buck Rogers.
Nice.
Come to find out, I was the very last person who his friend, the guy who was French, very short guy, who got to meet him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was his last
Yes.
person.
Yeah, he passed away a few years ago, right?
Yet several years ago.
Yeah.
Then of course Alan, who's the last of the Sand People.
Oh, Alan Fernandez. Yes.
He passed away too.
We're good friends with Alan Fernandez.
So was I
I
before he passed.
actually I have something that I still want to give away. I haven't given it away yet, but Alan signed this for us. I have the Tuscan Raider brickhead, and he's
Oh wow.
and I've always meant to give this away, but I haven't given it away yet.
Yeah, you may soon. So all right, I think this is the time we're gonna wrap it up. All right, you guys. You're listening to the Nostalgia Blend. I am your host, Wandering Saunders, and this is young Phil with go ahead and say who you're with.
With the Distance Nerding podcast. If you guys want to follow us everywhere on every social media that exists at Distance Nerding.
All right. Good seeing you, Phil.